Hey guys, today we're going to learn how to write the quadratic equation in another form. It's called a vertex form. And so what I have pulled up in front of me right now on the screen is your formula chart. And you can see that we're on the bottom section of your formula chart, and you can see where it has quadratic equation standard form, and then you can see vertex form. If you can recall, the vertex is the lowest part of a parabola that's created by a quadratic equation, or it can be the highest part, depending on if the parabola is upside down or right side up. And so that if you named the ordered pair of that vertex, that's the H and the K in this vertex form. So really, when you look at the vertex form, it's kind of telling you, since a parent function of a quadratic equation starts at is the vertex is at 0, 0. It's at the origin. So the H and the K in vertex form actually kind of show you how far to the right, how far to the left, how far up, how far down that vertex has moved from the original parent function. So let's get going with it. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and pull up your notes, and so hopefully you have those out. And there's, you can see the formula again. And then we were given a few points. And I'm just going to go ahead and relabel these H and K, and this my X and Y. And that's a super good idea to always start with that so you don't get them mixed up. So I'm going to write the formula, because when I write the formula and I substitute, I don't make as many mistakes as if I just try to go off of the top of my head. Now let's see, we said the Y is 12. There's that A, and then X is -2, and then we have a minus a negative, minus a -6. And then, this is about as tough as it gets here. Lots of negatives. So we'll just knock out the hardest ones to start, okay? So let's clear out all those negatives and let's work our way through this equation so we can get it in vertex form. So let's see, the first thing that I can see that I can do is I can do -2, and this becomes a +6 squared, and this is a -4, so I'm kind of cleaned it up a little bit. I can actually take care of what's in the middle. It's going to be a 4, and that's going to be squared. That's the only part that's squared, is what's in the parentheses. All right, so this is kind of boils down to order of operation. And this step right here, as innocent as this next step is going to look, it's what messes everybody up the most, because everybody wants to do 16 minus 4. But that 16 is tied to the A. In fact, I'm going to flip it so you can see it a little bit better. So I'm going to put 12 equals 16 times A minus 4. And now you can see quite easily that you can't subtract the 4 from the 16. So go ahead and do that flip when you see it so you don't make that mistake. So to solve, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. 16 equals 16a. Divide both sides by 16. A equals 1. All right, now I'm going to go back to the formula, and this time I am going to put in the H and the K again and A. All right, so let's see. I'm going to leave out the Y. So I have Y equals 1. A. Now, technically, I could just not put that 1 there, but I'm going to put it so you can see it. And then that is X minus a -6 squared plus a -4. All right, so I don't have the X and the Y, but I do have the A. Now let's clean this up because it's pretty messy looking. Y equals 1. X plus 6 squared minus 4. Now it is in vertex form. I'm going to go ahead and drop the 1 off. You don't really need it. And this would be the vertex form. Now, what if I wanted to go back to standard form? We're going to do that next. I'm going to take this equation that we created, y equals x plus 6 squared minus 4. And this is going to look kind of like one of the unit we just finished doing when we had like special products or multiplying polynomials, because this is actually, if I try to work this all the way out, it's x plus 6, x plus 6. Now, we talked about the FOIL method earlier. You can do the box method, whatever method works for you. I'm going to go ahead and do FOIL. X first, outside, inside, last. Now, here's another part where a lot of people make this mistake. They forget this right here, that you can combine those two together. So don't forget to do that. Y equals x squared plus 12x plus 32, and I am done. Boom. Let's do another one. Moving on to the next page, we're going to not do, I was debating which one to do. I think I will not do example 2. It has a 0 in there, which makes it a little bit different. We're just going to go ahead and do example 3. I think it's a better example to use. All right, so here again, I'm just going to go ahead and name it. This is the vertex, so this is my H and my K. This is my X and my Y. I'm going to write out the formula. So smart to start with the formula and then start to substitute in the numbers. You will make less mistakes. Let's keep going. Now I'm ready to substitute. The y is a negative 10. A is what I'm trying to find. X is 4 minus 2 squared plus 2. Not as hard as the first one, not as many negatives. Negative 10 equals, now it's just order of operation. So we've got 4 minus 2 is 2 squared. And now I'm kind of doing this in baby steps, but 2 squared is 4. I'm going to go ahead and flip it. I'm going to say 4a, because if I put the 4 behind the a, a lot of us are going to add 2 to the 4. And you can see when I write 4a, you can't do that. So I'm going to move the 2 over, and I get negative 12 equals 4a. Divide both sides by 4, and I get a equals a negative 3. So when I put this back into the equation, I leave off the x and the y. I put in the negative 3. Again, I leave off the x, and the h and the k are just 2. So it looks like this. Bam. Vertex form. Bam. All right, let's keep going. Y equals negative 3. Now I'm going to expand this out. X minus 2 plus 2. All right, I'm going to do the FOIL method again. First, outside, inside, last, or you can do the box method. All right, watch this. This is all inside the parentheses. First, outside, inside, last. Watch. Don't make the mistake. We can't add the 4 and the 2 this time, because now I have a 3 on the outside. We didn't have a 3 on the outside last time. We had a 1. So I'm going to have to distribute that 3 all the way across. So I have to distribute this 3. Whoops, I need to combine that. Y equals negative 3. I forgot. I almost forgot this step. Let me bring these together. And now I'm going to distribute that negative 3 all the way across. And this is something that is forgotten more than I'd like to say. A negative 3, negative 4x, positive 12x. Negative 3, positive 4, negative 12. Now I can add those two together. Y equals negative 3x squared plus 12x minus 10. Boom, we're done. I know you can do it. Get it going. Bye-bye.